There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Calling for people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end of parents from them. The welcome and life without again.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris who make you I can't Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes I know money, emu aye yo. And you love me, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Calling for people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. The world with my life without fear. From Grandpa's and Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Monserrat, San to Bagbolu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
So indeed, we are the best in Liberia. We are the best around the world, and we are the best even in your home. You know, whenever you put your radio on and you listen to Sktv, you feel so relaxed. You feel, you get all of the information that you need to get, and also you are also allowed to also be part of the Sktv family. That is cool. We bring you on also. Yeah, bring you on. Sorry. So again, we are the best. We moved. We are very strong. And the time check. What's the time check from the end? But here in Liberia, the time check is 9 minutes past 6, and that's the time check from what I said to broadcast on the faithful Sunday, the last Sunday in the month of November. For a matter of fact, this Sunday is the last Sunday. So many things happening back home, right here in Liberia, especially on this day. We always, see most of our religious people, most of our people going from or going to the various places of worship, and after that they have their little meetings and so forth. So please, let's share the show. Those of you who just joining us, let's share, comment, and like. If you listen to all via the video, we want to say thank you so much for always taking up your time to follow the Sktv show every time when we come here from 6 to 8 o'clock every time. So thank to all of you for your wonderful support, especially to those of you who always giving us your own support, no matter your moral, the spiritual, and the most important one is the financial support. Thanks to all of you. Mark will be joining me very soon. Steve will be joining us. Also Seku. But again, we're going to be with you. Please let's share the show so that others can also follow, because there are people out there sometimes they don't easily get the light of the show. So we got to share and be able to get connected with our many followers. If not 1,000 followers, listeners, and so forth, invite someone so that that person too can come and listen to this someday. Like Aisha, Monk, and myself, when we are here sometime on the Sunday, we go a little bit on some of our own life. Sometimes we look at some of the things happening, the way we treat people, the way people behave. But again, the uh, the pastor for the Fokeklum Family Fellowship, yes, Fokeklum Family Fellowship. I hope, yes, I hope, yeah, I think that's it. Fokeklum Family Fellowship, yes. So, yes, on today, the country interesting, very interesting, by the way, let's share the show. So, the former president also today, doing his preaching, on the, at the church. He said some things, but we have the video. We also going to play that video so that you too, so you can listen and maybe what's your own take on that. But again, we're here. We're going to be with you, Aisha, up to 8 o'clock, and at 7. We go for news break if possible. If not, we continue with the show up to 8 o'clock. And again, I'm John Simei Vancouver, sitting pretty tight right here. Yes, today is Sunday, folks. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my team. Let me see. Yeah, please share the show. Those of you who sharing, thank you so much. Share the show. We're going to also give you some of the latest or update or news back home, or some of the happening back home. But again, as usual, it's Sunday, and our country, when the Sunday, yes, I think people are asking, no, the show is there. Please go there now. We have the show, and also we'll be expecting some of you, like maybe every time you want to be a guest panelist on the show, just let Monk, Steve, Seku, or let me know, and most definitely we're going to send you the link, so that we all, we can come and discuss things that affect our country, Mama Liberia. So don't let's sit back and say no. Let listen to Melbourne. Let's listen to Monk, let's listen to Steve, or let's listen to Seguno yourself. You can also come on the show and be part. That's the way of also giving to you the opportunity, so that you too you can also express that thing, or maybe the local information you have in mind, and talk to your people, and be able to inform, educate your people about some of the things. Yes, so come on. If you want us to send you the link, inform Mark, inform Seku, or better say, let me know. I'm going to send you the link. Yeah, we talk things that are real. Yeah, we don't attack people personally, or we don't attack personality. We are not into that. We talk what we see, what we hear, and what we have in our possessions as evidence. These are informations that we send out there to the people, so that we also educate our people on things that they need to know. Because sometimes our people, they don't know sometimes some of these things, and that's one of my major issues with some of you who are experts, or who have some of the vast knowledge or so forth, especially when they kind of news, they kind of code issues, they kind of situation, political situations, they kind of thing. We expect some of you to come on and be able to give your own fair analysis, give your own fair or thinking, or the way you see things, so that our people can be able to learn some of these things. Because mind you, every time when things happen, yes, indeed, good afternoon to you, Chairman. Every time when things happen, there's a situation right in there. That means you should get ready for another thing that will happen after what happened on today, or maybe days ago. So whenever things happen, you should always be prepared, learn from what happened, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. So that's why some of us, we always calling on those of you who have some of the experience, or some of the knowledge when it comes to these things. So don't sit back and be talking. Some of us, we sit back and talk and talk. At the end of the day, guess what? All of the knowledge we have, everything we just go scot free. And nobody going to learn from the knowledge, or from what you learn, or from what you have in you, because you just sit back, you're afraid. Maybe you're afraid that you don't want to lose your job, or maybe somebody somewhere watching you and you don't want for the people to to get angry. But again, good evening, please support us. Also, to those of you who always supporting, let me say thanks to all of you. And don't forget that today is also Sunday, so the week still continue. If you haven't chipped in our basket, we also encouraging you. The numbers are there. Please chip in, send your support. It's not easy. So all of these news, some of you can be watching through the social media. It's not easy. These are efforts. These are things that people go through, especially to get the news. So relax, and the news come right to our doorstep, and that's the fact. Some of us will relax. None of that. Look, one thing I like about the technology, especially the social media, it makes things easy. It's not like before. Before you get certain information, you got to be thinking certain things will be hard. So no, that's why when you are given opportunity to serve your people well, because no matter what you do at that office, the information, be it good or not, it will come out. Thanks to social media, indeed. Thanks to social media for at least adding flavor to the media. So again, let me say good evening. Let me recognize a few of you. Mustafa Balo, let me say good evening to you. Okay, Brazilian Monk, yes, share the show, like and comment. Monk will be joining us very soon. And Blama Kane also watching from Oro. Thank you, Blama. If your data is running down, just go straight to the radio and tune to Truth FM 96.1, Blama. And Regina Webster, yes, indeed, good evening. She said, good afternoon, my Sktv family and viewers. Indeed, let me say, good afternoon, or if I good evening from now in here in like, I don't know, we're in the first season. How the winter, you're going to give some of us update. How they cool on our side, we got to know, because I know by this time it's cool season. So, Rosalind Dix also watching. Let me say thanks to you. And Salio Kemon also watching. Say hi, I'm watching from District 3, Massachusetts County. Please share the show. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. You share the show. Look, let me tell you. When you follow something you like, or that you always, have interest in, every time you're watching, you share, you like, and you comment. Even this person, or even the people who are working hard, maybe behind the same in breaking some of these things up, they will feel encouraged. But when you pass, some of us when they pass, we watch, we don't. No, you like, you comment, you share. That would be good. So Chairman Morris, Mamono Dukle, also watching. And let me say good evening to you, Chairman. He said, maybe good afternoon. Yes, indeed, good evening, Chairman. And then he said, we will play the video from the Fokiklom Family Fellowship of the former President, or in fact, George Manawia, former President of the Republic of Liberia, on today, when you were preaching or when you were teaching, what he said. So we will also play that. Mude, Pauline Ziansi, I'm watching from Minnesota. Thank you so much, ma'am, for watching SKTV and always following us on the internet and also supporting the SKTV platform. Peter Stewart, also watching. Thank you so much. Virginia Webson, again, thank you from Philip, right? My brother and friend, CD1 Jabu. The man who always encouraging me to play TV. Yeah, then my brother know. Maybe the time I will go America that time, yeah, there are who can be president and he may not be president. Another thing, me, I won't be there during the main time. So when the men are there now, no, then I'll not be having much interest again, because I won't be there during the main time. Maybe who can be president, so I can see for myself. So still CD1 Jabose Mebo, still Seku among hope we have a wonderful show today. Indeed, today going to be great. We'll be having a wonderful show. We'll be talking about former president. We are preaching on today, or his message, or his jobs. So there are opportunities that some people get. That's why when you are given opportunity to speak, some of you who are, how they call, so they carry someone to be keynote speaker, they carry someone to say go and speak. You know very well, for example, You are plumber, and you go to church. Sometimes we just miss out opportunities. You are plumber and you go to church, maybe for the first time, maybe, and they give you mark. Say, introduce yourself. The first thing I'm going to say, George, your hello, your good afternoon, your morning. Johnson Mayborn Cooler, I'm plumber, I do plumbing and so on. Thank God for me to be in the midst of all of you. Thank God for giving me the opportunity to come to this wonderful church. I'm done. That's it. So people now who will be looking for plumber now, they'll say, oh, but we get our own brother here, the men are, but again, some of the today Sunday, so no fear. Some of the churches too, they don't even support their own. You will even be the best engineer in that church. They will look for contractor also. That's just like an example. How will you grow? How will the country grow? Country or a lot of people here and go foreign people to come and overtake the entire economy. But you want to go? No. So let me recognize a few of you. Well, okay, Monk is here. Yeah, and Monk. I've been waiting for so can do a social talk a little bit. But Monk, good evening from my end. I know it's in the morning or maybe afternoon to your side.
Yeah, it's 12:22 here, Standard Central Time. We're in the middle of the country, so our time zone here.
Oh, all right. That's
Yep,
great.
another day. Not too hot, not too cool in Minneapolis. I sit in my usual spot. I love my garage.
Okay. How you not
I
to
got my
someone at
little
the
YouTube
center?
people
Will you
remote.
get someone at the center down there?
Atai? I know you gotta get oh Atai. I know they get some Atai spot. I don't know in the
Okay.
community, but I don't know like the way in Labrador. I haven't seen it yet. I don't drink too much Atai. I would drink it. I would love to drink it a lot, but sometimes when you're drinking it with other people, it's all about the togetherness.
Yeah,
It's not sitting down by yourself and just drinking this thing like when people come to visit you or you go somewhere and you're lecturing, maybe you're watching a game or something, yeah, then it sounds interesting.
yeah,
But I'm
that's
not the
true.
person who
That's
would sit there. Even to drink a couple of beers, I'm not the guy who would sit down and go walk in the fridge and take a bottle of beer. But when someone comes visit once in a while and they would
Yeah, man. I
lecture
think
you,
I
okay,
encourage
yeah,
people.
that's it. Yeah, that's how I do it. I'm more of a when we're
Yeah,
in a
because when I
social
come down
setting.
there, actually when I come down there, I want to be visiting most of the Italians and see how our young people back home, the what they can be doing, their arm, they be putting their arm up, they be discussing political. I can enjoy
But
it.
you can't see that here. Maybe when you go to the African store or maybe like some place in Minnesota, Philadelphia, like where you can see bunch of like brand example like entertainment food centers and yeah, then you will want to such gathering, but on an individual basis, it will be tough to see a setting like that. Yeah. Yeah, we just work.
Wonderful.
Maybe people hang out here once in a while, but the society is built in a way that it's all business. It's all putting your hours to work because the only way you can survive here, no other way you can make money here except you put in the work. You either be a skill or a skill person, but either way, it doesn't matter. When you can pay the bills and once you can keep yourself afloat financially, then you can do what you have to do. So maybe on the Sunday you go to a wedding, barbecue, baby shower and stuff like that. Once in a while you will hang out, but that's not the lifestyle here. The entire Western world as a whole is all work. It's all work. You work to death and get old and die and hope for some retirement and then that's it until you leave this planet.
Yeah, because I'm seeing more mobile also say maybe yeah we work plenty. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
wow.
That's the only way you can live. When you see every society has an advantage and disadvantage. You live in a capitalistic society and it's money that keep the system going. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
all the aid and all the think about the United States government being the Mother Teresa for almost every country around the planet. They're giving some kind of a aid, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in education. How do you think they come up with those funds? People must work. It's one of the reasons people talk about immigration because when the working population start getting older, it poses a risk to the country survival. So they got to bring certain people. That's why they got programs, whether it's DV, whether it's marriage, student visa, H-1B visa. People come here on medical study. They have to keep a working population because you can't stop generating money. The day the U.S. government stop generating money, that's the day the system is going to collapse. So you can't stop working. Matter of fact, they even increase the retirement age now. You got to work into your 70s now. Think about
Okay.
working in like
Wow.
your 71 or 72. It used to be 65, but
Mm.
people are living much longer. That's why even the social security system is getting bankrupt because when they came up with the system in the 60s and 50s and 60s, the life expectancy was much lower. But now you go to nursing home, you see people 94, 96, 92. So
Mm.
you know what it means to take care of someone that
Mm.
retire at the age of 65 and they're living up to their hundreds. It means for 40 years, the government will
Mm.
have to borrow money from one group to take care of the other group. So the social security system that people have been using in this country for the past 50 years is bankrupt already. They just found a way to mitigate the damage, but it is bankrupt because the baby boomer generation that were in the 60s or that were born after World War II, they are living longer than any other time in history. So the government will have to find money to pay for their services. So by the time a guy like me can retire, that is, if I want to retire in America, I won't even be able to get social security benefit because the system is already bankrupt. It won't even survive the next 10 years. That's just why it is. So we have to bring people here to work. So why you want to come? A guy like me will be thinking about coming home, and then you can come and replace me, maybe.
Wow, wow,
Uh,
wow, wow, Mark. That's good. But Mark, I have these few observations, and you are talking about this system, the economy, and so forth. How come, Mark, like for example, you Mark, you work hard on that side, and maybe they retire you, and you come down, Mark, and you want to have your money maybe transferred to you. Sometimes there's this system that they can send you certain amount of money, especially maybe when they are sending you, maybe after a certain time they block you. What kind of system is that?
No, they got a Swift banking system when you're dealing with it all depends the kind of a transfer system you are dealing with. If you are just
Okay.
dealing with the money services like the money grant, the money Western Union, the how they call the other one Sendwave, they got
Mhm.
limit. You can just send look, maybe there's people that got a system here. They even your money that in your bank in America, they got way in which you can transfer your money or you can even withdraw. They got limitation. You can be
Mhm.
having $10 million in the bank, but maybe that
Mhm.
particular bank, your bank will can only allow you to withdraw $1,000 per day. So if you want to withdraw money in huge quantity, you have to put in an order in advance wherein the people that work in the bank, because don't forget when you put your money in the bank here, or any bank for that matter, they don't keep the money in the bank. They go and trade your money on the stock exchange, on the stock
Mhm.
market. So just because you got 5 million in your bank account, that 5 million is not sitting there. They are doing business with your money. So in order to retrieve that money, you got to get them notice in advance so they can be able to retrieve the money because they are setting you got limited amount of money in circulation because the more you put out money out there, the more worthless the money becomes. So that's an economic principle about money supply. So they will keep it limited. And that way you can just transfer. But if you're dealing with a bank to bank transfer and you make the negotiation, then they can be able to transfer huge amount of money for you. But not a regular guy to just walk in the bank like the last
Mhm.
time some our government official went and took $800,000 from a bank in physical cash.
There were
That will
coming,
never
there
happen
were
in America.
mhm.
You can remember a few years ago, I think it was
Mhm. Yes,
some
yes.
yeah, that war. I said, how can you even take $800,000 from a bank in physical cash? That can never happen here. Never. I use the word never. But it can happen in Liberia because of the system.
And
So
and
you will
and
be able to
and
get your money.
and more to just add up to that, or maybe follow up question to, or maybe let me say sorry, follow up or to what you've been saying. Um, you will see most of our Liberians brothers and sisters or officials that you are saying. Sometimes they carry 50,000, 100,000, something like cash. Sometimes they go to the places like Dubai. You know, just that they just walk away with money. Like money is something that you can just walk around with at any time you want to. But again, Monk, this point is how come with all of this system, when they when our people leave from here, Monk, they abide by all this system, Monk. But when they come back home, Monk, they play donkey attitude.
Well, it's a culture, it's the way we do things. That you live in a system, and that's why the people say system will always be a winner over individual. That's why this country over 200 years they've been existing. No matter who's in power, no matter who you bring, at the end of the day, they got a system that govern this particular country or any other Western or industrialized country. Because at the end of the day, maybe system was made to guarantee success. When you have a system in place, right? I was watching this guy video yesterday on YouTube. Or Wodi Maya, that popular Ghanaian
Mhm.
YouTuber,
Yes.
and he was in Brazil. So after driving around the street in Brazil, he made a statement. He said, I haven't been to Portugal. of all the countries that I traveled so far. But I've been to Angola, I've been to Mozambique, all the Portuguese colonies. It seems to be like they build their streets and their architecture design the same. He said, even though I'm in Brazil, but it still feels like I'm in Angola. I said, because the Portuguese or the colonial masters, that's why they brought in system. System will keep lasting forever because it's a particular way you keep doing things. You can't change it. The individual will change, people will come and go, but the system remain in place. So even though you are in Brazil, but it still feel like you are in Mozambique or you are in Angola because those areas are Portuguese colonies, just like Brazil. Brazil was colonized by Portugal. So you expect to see the same street layout, the same architecture design, the same system because that's why they call system. So our people, sometimes most of us, we leave from here because we refuse to put in the system that we abide by in the West that we can duplicate or replicate for better living, but we don't want that because we want to steal first. It's the first and foremost thing. You think, maybe if we're dealing with a cashless system when it comes to government operation, wherein when you have to go to a government ministry or agency and you transact using some kind of a payment processor, you think people will be able to steal money in the hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, but they prefer cash transaction because it's easier for you to take cash and take it at home. Let's assume that you are a custom broker at the Freeport of Monrovia and you are making anywhere between $1,000 a day, people bringing a barrel that continually giving you money here and there. You won't want for that system to change because you feel it benefit you. You are making excess amount of money. But here is the thing, the country is being robbed and the money that's all being used for social development, economic development, you are depriving somebody. Okay, yeah, you're getting rich. But the question is, how many people could have benefited from the money you are stealing? I'm not saying I'm not saying America or any Western country is perfect, but at the end of the day, 85 to 90% of that money will go to the project that they were intended for. In the case of Africa, two presidents can steal something that belongs to 1,000 individuals, and two presidents can walk away with it, making 998 other individuals to become victims. That can never happen here. Yeah, you will get away with some things, but at the end of the day, 95 or 90% of the proceeds will go to that particular project, and that's what separates us from them.
Wonderful, Mark. With this other one, this since today is Sunday, some of these things sometimes we bring this thing up, to allow our people all to know about Monk. That is started since 2006. After the war, our first president, Mana Energies and Sktv-Lib, all of our government officials and so forth. But I'm still seeing this thing still going Monk as a trend. Where when you are appointed monk, for example, they make you minister monk, and you take your wife, your children, all of them from here and send it out. Monk, I'm still trying to grab something. Is that right thing to do, monk, as a minister, deputy, director, so forth? That, for example, you take your wife and your children, all of them from here and send it out of the country?
Well, that's what you say. Everything comes down to the system and the way you live your life, the way you decide to govern yourself. Maybe that's why I keep telling folks, I said the possibility of us getting a better country, I don't see that happening. Because when you want to make yourself better, there are certain things that you can put in place, certain moves you can make that will project to be like, okay, 20 years from now, because of what maybe, we cannot predict the future, but you can do things that can give you a hint of the future. The future is something that you make room for, right? You cannot relive the past. You cannot live in the future. You got to concentrate on the present. But there are certain things that you will do in the present that will determine how your future will be. And you just give a perfect example. You look at a government official, and the moment he takes office or public office, because of the mindset, he comes with the intention to steal. He comes with the intention to make himself a multi-millionaire overnight. So the first thing he needs is security. So he believes that when he sends a woman and his children overseas, he can get in a better life. They can go to better school in the future. Maybe they can have a better opportunity to be given that economic advantage or leverage over the ordinary Liberian. So that the very first thing that comes to mind. And the Western society also, they love people like that because that's how they create a system. When it's time to take money up, they make it they make it complicated. But when you want to bring stolen money to America, they will tell you to bring it here because they need that money to go and make business out of it. So that's how the system is. And our country, we keep doing the same thing. That's why I keep saying, if the vast majority of people that found work in government, we have that kind of a mindset, then why would you even want to develop the country? So the people who are sitting in Liberia or who are hoping that you can maintain the same system and somehow the country going to change. You are just living in a nothing. Yeah, you are living in nothing but total fantasy. Because the people that are coming to public office, they are not coming there with the intention of developing the country. They could care less about if the country make progress. They are coming there with one intention: steal, steal, and steal. So let me give you a typical example. The marble exercise. You talk about system. You look at a finance minister telling you on live camera that he took $25 million and put it into a car trunk to go and distribute it to money changer. Does that make sense? 25 million US dollars. Even though we have a monetary and a fiscal or financial system in Liberia wherein the central bank supposed to be the one when it comes to the money supply, you looking at a finance minister in a country telling you he took $25 million to go distribute it amongst money changer. Maybe no longer how long we play this thing. We don't have a country. I will keep saying it. We pretend like we have a
Yes.
country, but we don't.
Monk, actually, you're right. Because for me, I think you just knew is like, let me take my family from here so that I can be able to steal, so that I can be able to do wickedness. Even when they want to fight me, they will not get me because even if I have some, Monk, and these are some of the reasons why most of the people, they are molesting most of our young women. Like for instance, you have close to almost 2,000 men as maybe directors, this and that, and so forth, and their wives, their children are not young. What kind of social life do you think that they will live? They're going to do all of these things in making sure that they steal the money and bring the money to the young women. I like, in fact, they are renting apartments. I like, in fact, they are taking good care of them. They are sending them to school. And you're going to say something about system where people, when they are stealing, they feel that it's the right thing to do because it benefits them. They don't care about the vast majority. It's bad. That's not a good thing to do as a government. Because when you do these things, at the end of the day, you will not see any progress because of what you are always doing. Because when you do this in Monk, nothing going to happen and your people will continue to live in poverty. Okay, now for example, you have ministers who have their children out of the country. And you have all of the school, for example, education minister. Education minister children are out going to all of the best schools around the world. We have our children here. They don't even have seats in the various classrooms. They don't even have books, no good library, nothing. Even most of these school campuses are all fed up, that they are all bad off. But you don't care because you're getting kickbacks. And these are same kickbacks that you send out there to support your children and your wives. But I think the government or the president or who will be, they have to look at some of these things.
And yeah, the funny part, right? Yeah, the funny part about it. You get in public office, you know that the job won't come back too often. Maybe it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Let's assume that you are the commerce minister or deputy finance minister, and you know politics. We don't have too many jobs in Africa or Liberia in particular, and you got that once in a lifetime opportunity. The first thing that will come to mind is you want to settle yourself for life because you know it won't come back too often. It's once in a lifetime opportunity. So you are stealing from the country, taking the resources and bringing it to the Western world. That's one. And then even the one that the government paid their school fee to come here, guess what? They leave from here. They still want to go work in the same government. So either way, the country is losing on both ends. So think about making a business where you are losing both ways.
That's the fat monk. So at the end of the day, the poor people continue to go through poverty. And they are like, we're working. They do, all of these brainwashing things that they continue to do back to back. They are all on level, or they are always of just coming up for their own deeds. And when you join there, they are doing back to back stealing. The government send you out, you come back, you work in the same government, you get your wife and children, you carry them out. You take the same money, then every time you call it on monk. So let me ask you this question. Do you think calling on foreign aid or calling on international partners will always come to help us, maybe to give us some financial maybe help? Do you think it's necessary? Because we are using most of the money, Monk.
Maybe The reason when you come to the Western world or any other advanced country, and the reason some African countries are making progress because they are changing the way how they are doing business. They are thinking into the future. They are making the right investment. Maybe since you've been reading history in Liberia books, you know how long we've been receiving loan and international assistance. Can you see that transforming the life of our ordinary people? When you think about some of the funds that we received, and when they tell you, say, oh, we've been indebted to the World Bank or 2 billion, or how Madam Salif came to power in Liberia was in debt of 4 billion. Does Liberia look like a country that could be in a debt of 4 billion? You will be asking yourself. So if we are in debt of 4 billion, what can I see in this country that reflects 4 billion? I'm talking about in 1980 and 1990 money, though. I'm not even talking about today, present day value. If somebody told you that Madam Salif came to power in 2005, 2006, okay,
2006.
2006 together when she took office. You want to tell me if Liberia was already in a debt of 4 billion US dollar? Can you look around that country and show me anything that worth closer to that money that Liberia should be in a debt of $4 billion? Because most of the money they are just money on paper. Matter of fact, they see international partners. Matter of fact, they love this business model anyway. They are not responsible for making you better. It is your responsibility. They gave you these funds. Matter of fact, they themselves have to consume these funds. They use all kind of a bureaucracy. By the time the money get to you, you come here, you lobby. Let's assume somebody promised you to give you, and you know the same thing when they talk about concession agreement. Like, why I keep telling people, oh, the president brought 3 billion in concession. I said, did you read the fine print? Did you? Do you know that when an investor come to your country, they say, oh, we want to make an investment here or $2 billion or 1 billion. By the time the physical cash can even get to you, maybe you're only getting 400 million. Because they're looking at the equipment, they're looking at the investment they themselves will make, they look at the taxes, and that particular amount is spread over series of years, right? Maybe if I'm going to give you 1 billion in 30 years, how can you call that 1 billion?
No.
Over a 30-year period, right? I signed a contract with you. I think, oh, I'm an investor. I came to Liberia to do iron ore business. Oh, Liberia and then mining company signed a memorandum of understanding for 2.5 billion over 30 years. Okay. First of all, take out the taxes. They got to come and train your workforce. They have to build certain infrastructure. They got to pay royalties in terms of fees, talk to lawyers. Okay. By the end of the day, if you spread 2.5 billion over 30 years, tell me how much Liberia is getting. Little to nothing, you get a drop in the bucket. So it might sound big on paper, but at the end of the day, when the real transactional part comes, you can't realize anything. That's why the country is in so much debt, and you can see nothing to show off for the debt because it's kind of a model we're using. So other countries now are saying, no, we got to bring the factories here. When you want to sign an agreement here, you got to bring some of the labor force here. You got to improve a certain sector, got to make certain investment here. That way, our people can benefit because the whole thing about you just come, you take the raw material, you carry it to Europe, you carry it to America. Liberia is not benefiting nothing. We still remain in poverty forever into Twitter. It never ends. It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing.
Before we transition from this, but on a very serious note, you are right. And Mark, should we say the Liberian people themselves, they let to hear some of the political charade or some of the political, I don't know, brainwash, or how you may call it, somebody, because mind you, Mark, these are things that our people like to hear. Oh, the government of Liberia signed.
Yeah, they signed memorandum of understanding.
Yeah. But Mark, at the true say, so Liberia may not even benefit anything. Because at the end of the day, all these same group of people, they will come back for the same money and carry. And guess what? Even some of your government officials too, Monk, they are lobbying fees, they are this and that, and all of that, they are there, want to cut everything. Then, how much Liberia going to benefit? No wonder why.
But remember, the Nigerian guy who came, I think sometime in 2007, between 2007 and 2010, that spent less than $200,000 and ended up flipping it to more than $200 and some more $1 million. How much our lawmakers are able to get? Maybe less than 100, maybe less than 60 to 70,000. You are talking about the country future, right? Your resources. You auction it to a guy that spent pennies on a dollar, and he was able to become a multi-millionaire many times over. And they will be having people, or you will have people that will support that, calling it an investment. How can you call something an investment that does not benefit the entire country? Remember, that's why I keep telling us, I don't know how that country will be like, right? When you look at all the budget, look at
But what?
Go ahead.
If I hear you talking about the entire country, don't even talk about the entire country. Let me go to Agabi Mountain in Grand
Yeah.
Cayman. So that more, even the little community, or maybe district, or even to where they are residing, more when you go there, you won't cry for your country.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about entire country, more.
Yeah. Just one error.
Just one error, more.
Yeah.
And the people there.
I was seeing a drone. I was witnessing a drone footage on YouTube from that mining company in Grand Cayman County. I forget that name. Be a mountain, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the president took that video from the air. You know, when you're on ground, it's a whole different thing as opposed to when you're in the air. I was like, these guys are taking anywhere between $200 to $250 million in proceeds a year from this mountain. And you look at our country, you look at the living condition of our people over there. You see the facility. When you see the destruction, the environmental impact, the damage that those guys are causing, you will say, it even worth these people doing business here.
Okay.
How many employees they get over there in comparison to how much they are making? How much? Maybe they get something that other countries doing now. They call it sovereign wealth fund, a new way of doing business now in the world, where countries will do like they got some in Africa, they got some in North Africa now, where people are forming partnership, right? Some smart African leaders, they are cashing on it. It's a model wherein people will do an appraisal of all their resources. They bring experts, to do an assessment.
Yeah,
they look at all their resources, and then they come up with an estimate. Let's say all your timber, your rubber, your gold, right? You do an appraisal to see like, okay, how much you think our resources worth here? Let's say somebody will say, okay, maybe all the resources in Labroba estimate, maybe it worth anywhere between $150 to $200 billion. Now, you use that particular estimate, you come to the international world or bigger financial institution, you leverage that, right? You take money, you take funds, and you come and build infrastructure, you build your schools, you build your hospitals and things. Because those resources now, they are trading on the market. Don't forget that the thing they call money is not only you buying goods or I buying goods. That's why they got a stock exchange. People can speculate into the future. Things like diamond, gold, silver, these things, they never go down in value. Every time they keep, a matter of fact, when there are war events happening, when there is a war or maybe some geopolitical event, people take their money from bank, from the fiat currency and put it in gold. Some people got that money in real estate. Some people got that money in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Some people got that money in gold and silver. These things are precious mineral. That's why they call them precious mineral. You don't even want to sell them. You want to use them as leverage to take money to come and develop a country. So you look at Grand Cayman County, our people that still live in poverty, one company come, they get extract all the resources every year. They get rich. You even get basic and nobody can change it. But still, our people won't get it. Matter of fact, you will say no, the reason that they're trying to find a way to start calling and to start attacking you because they believe that you are an obstacle to the way how they do things.
Before we go to, because I have two things that I want to ask you, or we're going to talk about the former president video and all his jobs, and Honorable Musa Hassan Benete read up. I think you saw it this morning. We've seen a very strong read up out there on the internet, and there are so many.
Tag me, let me find capability page, or you can tag me either way.
So I'm going to tag you into that. So again, these are things more. Actually, these are things that keep killing our people, especially our people are struggling more, and let me be frank. And most of the company come more by the time they finish getting rich. Sometimes they just look at everything. Well, I bring 500,000, I get 50 million. So if I take my company, I'll go see you. Then the entire place just look outside the monk, nothing happening. Yeah.
Maybe let me tell you something. You know, what you just said is the problem. Everything is the mentality, the way people think, even the public official and the people that are in the country, right? The one concept our people got was that they will keep telling you, oh, we got resources. I said, no, but resources can be depleted. Typical example, Bombing Hill, Beaumont, and other places, right? Those places, those people came and took all the iron and left those empty holes there and packed that bag and they left. So the idea that you are rich because of resources is a myth. You keep living in poverty for as long as I've been in Labrador growing up. Whole Labrador is rich country. When are we going to experience this wealth? We don't have infrastructure. We don't have better hospitals. We don't have better school. our people are living below the poverty limit for as long as I've been doing myself in Liberia. Yeah, few people do well here and there. I'm talking about as a society, we are one of the poorest countries in the world, if not the poorest. And you keep telling people we rich, we got resources. The question is, what if your resources and resources cannot transform your life? And matter of fact, that's why people keep investing in education and other things and infrastructure. Because at the end of the day, if when we're talking about this thing, like we talk about the port, how our own lawmakers are pushing for port autonomy to break up the NPA, that's something that you're not going to benefit from. So when you have depleted all the resources for little or nothing, tell me now, the future generation, 20 years from now, where you guys going to start out with? How your left going to be like? Well, anyway, let's go to chairmanability and video. I don't know which one you want to go to. I will read a letter. I mean, I will read it right up about chairmanability. It's an open letter. And I don't know if you want to play the George video first before we get into the letter, or either way, you call the shot. So
no. Let's play out of the Musa Assembly, then we will be the last. Then we just kick up with the third discussion. Yeah.
So the chairman did a very short letter. He said an open letter to the honorable justices of the Supreme Court. He said our nation stands at a critical crossroad. The challenges we face are monumental, and the foundation of our democracy have been tested as never before. At the heart of this trial lies the question. Oh man, somebody calling me on my laptop. Hold on 1 second, there, man. Oh man. Yeah. He said our nation stands. Mabel, can you hear me? Or are you guys hearing me? I hate using laptop and then getting. Mabel, can you hear me?
Yes, Monk.
Folks, are you guys hearing me? Just give me a thumbs up or like, and I will know if you guys hear me.
Yes, Monk, you are live on the radio. We're getting you loud and clear.
All right, okay, then let me go through what the chairman just said, what he wrote. I think it was 7 hours ago. He said, our nation stands at a critical crossroad. The challenges we face are monumental, and the foundation of our democracy have been tested as never before. At the heart of this trial lies a question that transcends politics, a question about the endurance of the rule of law. In terms of uncertainty, the people look to the Constitution for guidance, stability, and justice. The Supreme Court, as the guardian of our Constitution, is not just an institution. It is a symbol of fairness, impartiality, and the rule of law. It is the one place where power and privilege must bow to principle, where justice is not swayed by the tide of politics or the noise at the moment. But today, the rule of law is on a seat. The political currents that shape our daily life have seeped into a very institution meant to stand above them. We are witnessing decision, action, and rhetoric that erodes public trust in the independence of the judiciary. People are watching, and their fate is warning. We write you to not to. I mean, we write to you not to criticize, but to explore. I mean, this is a time of courage and clarity. This is a time for the court to rise above the free and reaffirm its commitment to the principles that have gathered through generations. Your decision will not only shape the immediate future of our country, but will also serve as a precedent for generations to come. Honorable justices, the responsibility you carry is immense, but so too is your power to uphold the idea upon which the nation was built. Your ruling, your words, or your conduct send a ripple throughout society. I mean, they set the tone for how justice is perceived and practiced. In this pivotal moment, we ask you to act with wisdom and integrity, to be mindful of the weight your decision carries, and to protect the sacred trust of the people that the people have placed on you. We acknowledge that politics is a reality of our life, but the court must remain a beacon of impartiality. It must stand firm as an arbiter of justice, untainted by external pressure or personal ambition. To all the rule of law, to falter on political influence is to risk losing the very essence of our democracy. This is your moment. History is watching. The people are watching. The decision you make today will either restore confidence in our institution or deepen the divide that threatens to consume us. We urge you to choose wisely, to act boldly, and to affirm the enduring strength of our rule of law. So, I love how they. I love the chairman take, but when you believe in the rule of law and you want for impartiality to exist, we have Supreme Court. I think you don't want to influence that decision, so I don't know why the chairman himself will want to write them to tell them, to reawaken them, or to give them a hint that we are looking up to you. Because if they are there and if they are the justices that we look up to, that they're the final arbiter of the law, then I don't think we need to be writing them to know their role and responsibility. So I would think half and half. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Mark. But I think what you're trying to portray is about the way people handle things, the way we go by our own saying, the way some of us, the way we handling the issues, especially when it comes to what happening about the lower house or the representatives among them. People, the entire write-up is about saying, okay, so that make it look like maybe this is happening in the executive, right? Where maybe all of the vice president and the other government officials, they all come together and say, okay, we're no longer having it or maybe trust in the president. So we're going to fight hard to remove the president. I mean, then that's another ball game. I think that's what I'm trying to say. That means that's a wrong thing to do. So that, for example, with Thomas Father issue, because yeah, let me bring more on first. So with Thomas Father issue, also I think that was also mentioned. So you also talk about where in this world you as a deputy speaker, you're sitting there and you are also aligning with other group who want to move or remove the speaker, and you're thinking that was good. No. So you're trying to say that, okay, that do the right thing, that the people be able to go through the rightful process and have the speaker removed instead of all of the jungle justice and the way we handle issues. So for me, I think I just want to say that way, that we should stop abusing the law. We should stop going against the rule of law, and we should respect the rule of law. Monk, that's my own take in the entire write-up, and that's my understanding from the write-up. Monk, are you there?
You can hear me?
Okay, yes, I'm getting you now. I'm getting you now. Go ahead.
No, I'm not criticizing the chairman's decision to send a message or a caveat to the Supreme Court. I am just saying when you build a system and when you call for judicial independence, then we don't want to be the one to influence that decision or form public opinion, because the law is the law, and we claim that we want to practice how they call it, fairness and transparency when it comes to the independent branch of government to come and settle score in this matter. So I'm not criticizing the chairman for his letter. I'm just saying, like, I would take it at half and half, because if we trust the system, then we should believe that the system is going to work. I don't think I have to remind the Supreme Court justices that the war is watching, the Liberian people are watching. You go by the law. No, they're supposed to know their job. That's why we trust them to be an independent body, to be the one, the adults, the adults in the room that will come and settle score when we're having a political impasse, especially happening in the House. So, I mean, I understand that chairman wrote a letter, but I am just saying that in certain statement, it's almost like he himself trying to have some some sway or trying to convince the judiciary that you need to do your business. So I don't have to remind them about the job. They ought to know their job.
No, I think Mark, maybe you don't stay grabbing certain for the entire world. What he's trying to say is that to some of us, Mark, who are maybe in a habit of going against the rule of law. That, for example, Mark, how come we are into maybe organization and you are the head, and one morning we just work and say, okay, yeah, we got to get or maybe more out and so on, maybe that kind of illegal way. I think that's what you're trying to say. But again, you're saying, yes, you are right. So let's move to the former president video. Let me play this video.
Pocket clutch right there, right?
Yeah, from family. I remember you got put another. The family, Pocket Clone Family Fellowship. That's the name, right? Monk?
I think you got it right. I don't know about the fellowship or the Gelate part we want, but I know how the name it.
Okay, right. So the Pocket Clone Family Fellowship. Where the Pocket Clone? Yeah. So where is the video? Okay, so we moved. All right, so folks, please share the show. Those of you who just joined us, this is the Sktv show, and come here, Mark. Let me see this video. Let me get it set quickly. Got to move. Make sure share the show. Those of you, yeah, share the show. Today is Sunday. Interesting Sunday, and I know you don't want to miss out some of the happening. Good.
People are trying to hijack democracy. You saw what's going on? People are trying to hijack democracy. After that, we have broken the record of democracy. They're trying to off the speaker from the house unconstitutionally. And the entire world is watching. And nobody speaks. Unconstitutionally, they try to ask the speaker. And there's two things that wrong. I always take my case to ECOWAS. We were children, we have children here, we were people brought characters to the country. That's what we try to solve. But no one sees that it will be solved. Today, they see the country, and I said to people, what they're doing, it was planned because even during the inauguration, if you look at the video, go to the video, Waka did not answer the question. The question that said, I will protect, I will defend, he never answered it. Why they want that? Oh, you have
What a joke.
Well, so Monk, there where we are as people, I will protect our whole and I will defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, according to our former president, President Joseph Yimabwaka, if we're going against the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. What's your take?
Well, it's just laughable. That's why some people believe that the country is cursed. I mean, look at the man who is making such a criticism against the current administration. You know, in every society, you got two positions to fall back on when things falls apart. The very first place you look up to is in any functioning society or any governmental settings, right? We got two safety nets. The very first thing you look up to rule of law. After the rule of law, you look up to the military, right? That's the last two. When everything else fails, you look to the Constitution or the rule of law, and after that, you look up to the military. That's why the military was created purposely. When everything else fails in the country, you expect the military to come in and restore sanity. You look at our man. I mean, I can understand Fanatic Kofa is an individual who was elected as a lawmaker that became speaker by virtue of his own colleague. But this was a man that helped engineer the removal of a Supreme Court Associate Justice. And he the one criticizing the move as being unconstitutional. And he referenced ECOWAS. That's the part I found comical in that video. He referenced that he took a case to ECOWAS. But what were the recommendations for ECOWAS after he took a case to ECOWAS? Didn't they call for reinstatement? Didn't they call for settlement? Did he honor that? So how can your men that did worse than why it's happening be the one to criticize why it's happening? But that's why you get in the country when you always go to the when you pick a money least when it comes to the highest office in the land. Because I don't know where he take this or where he comes up with a moral equivalency to even make such an argument that people are trying to hijack the Constitution. When you remove an associate justice illegally, it's bigger than what happened to Fanatic Kofa. I mean, we can make the case about politics with the speaker, but we are talking about an associate justice. And when you went to ECOWAS came with their own recommendation for redress, and you didn't even honor their request, and you want to come here on a Sunday, and people that screaming and shouting with nonsense, supporting that crap. But that's Liberia for you, my brother. That I don't have anything to say past that, because I know you can do worse and then criticize why it's happening right now. Actually, at the moment, the issue with the speaker, I will keep saying it, is political, and we are getting to that constitutional aspect. We will hear from the Supreme Court, that's why they are there. But for you to get a guy who was there that attacked or an associate justice being the one to criticize the removal of a speaker is beyond laughable. It's a joke. The entire country is a joke anyway.
All right, wonderful. So Mark, maybe other people will have their own saying as we go along. To those of you who are also commenting, yes, you just listened to the former president. That's his talk or jab, someone would say, on today at his church. And Mark, my take on this entire issue is that at least we have to get people who will be talking. Because Monk, like you are saying, I agree with you. But when the capable is not available, Monk, what do you expect?
Yeah. The incapable become the capable, right? He can talk that Sunday. Matter of fact, that's how it is, like, bro. Most of them use the pulpit they have behind the pulpit to spew nonsense in the name of Christianity. That's why I keep saying everything about the country is a joke. Whether you ordain or not, you can just go and take microphone and preach, You got killers and warmongers who call themselves pastors because according to Christianity, you can say anything. Nobody going to no check and balances. Nobody going to chastise you for talking nonsense. Nobody going to hold you responsible for the atrocity that you committed because we will be operating under something they call forgiveness. So people just take advantage of the system. How can a man that helped to engineer the removal of an associate justice be criticizing the removal of a speaker? How? The associate justices are the last line of defense before you get to the military. So when you want to talk about moral equivalency, what he did was worse than what we are experiencing today. Because for Antiquofa, is just a regular speaker, is just an ordinary lawmaker. We can say, okay, that politics. Matter of fact, the petition that been filed with the Supreme Court, even though they quoted constitutional provision, but it's political. In your case, we are talking about an associate justice, the last line of defense when it comes to the rule of law and the Constitution. And you the one want to criticize somebody? Are you serious, bro?
So like I'm saying, Monk, you know, this country, we have a very long way to go. Because even as we speak, Monk, sorry that in passing we didn't even talk about some of our religious people or the respect for religious people. Because Monk, this thing also, the religious people, they went there to solve this problem, and the lawmakers, they didn't listen to them. Nobody gave them ear, and they left. Monk, I think that was also a slap in the face of our religious people. Let's be frank, because if you run in a country like you are saying, if you run in a country where no respect for other people, no respect for religious people, no respect for traditional people, Monk, then where are you going? So let's even talk about ECOWAS coming to even intervene, but let's go back to our own horse in solving our own problems, Monk, even prior to the former president coming in to talk. Because I guess that if all of these things are going to be handled the right way, I don't think even going to be having saying, or maybe they'll even come out to talk. But because things are happening, no more respect, nobody cares anymore, nobody listening anymore, and you said something, or maybe one of our followers said something, and you always quoting that the people that we elected or that we get power to, they no more, or in fact, they no longer pay attention or respect the people that gave them the power. So Monk aside, that's where I come to and say, when the capable is not available, the available will not become capable.
Capable, yeah. Maybe I religiously follow one man of God in Ghana, they call Mensa Otabil. I think he's a very gifted man of God. I think you can attach it to one of his videos. And he said something profound from the video. I don't know if the video was created yesterday, but it was yesterday that I saw it. He said, if care is not taken, Christianity in Africa is going to collapse. And the reason he's saying it, because everything that is being practiced now in the name of Christianity, they are not biblical. They make no spiritual or even human sense. That's what you see happening. And that's the reason people in politics, they have no regard for religious leaders, because the religious leaders themselves, they are corrupt. They hold no weight. They are not respected. They are beggars. They will compromise on their own religious principle just to get money, just to survive. That's why nobody can hold them. Look, remember when I was picking growing up in like, bro, I knew the men who, when the interfaith mediation, how they call it, the Labyrinth, or how they call it, whatever Labyrinth Council or church, the interfaith council. I'm talking about the Archbishop, or Bishop Kula, or Jeremiah Walker, Toya David, David Dixon, and all those guys. Those guys were respected. Those were respectable people. Your new crop of pastors and men of God, and nobody got respect for them because they don't have principle. I'm not saying that anybody should be perfect, or those guys that I named earlier, they were perfect. But these people carry some level of weight. They have some magnitude. They have leverage when they speak on national issues because they knew where to draw the line. I can remember what beginning, I think about 98, 99. I remember one time the Archbishop, when Charles threatened the Archbishop gave him a warning. Say, I don't make report to you. You are only a man. I'm a man of God. I represent an entire or global dominant religion in this country as the eye of them in this country. You cannot just threaten me and put fear in me in this country because you think I'm not in government. No, I'm from civil society. I lead a huge following in this country. I'm recognized globally as an archbishop. So the idea that I would come take nonsense from you because you think you're the leader, no, I'm not going to stand up for that. But we live in a different era, in a different dispensation. That's why people can just go. Let me tell you something, I can bet you 15, 20 years ago when people who stand up to a political leader. They think what job right in Prince Johnson doing like brother, they couldn't have happened on our bishop at the time. They wouldn't have stood for that. They were going to criticize them big time. They wasn't going to accept it. Whether they ordain or not, that's why I keep saying. You look at men who can do things, they just go Sunday morning, get their microphone, and get taught. By the end of the day, people in church. That what men that OW say, what you see happening now on the continent, Christianity is going to collapse because there will come a time that people won't have regard. And when you don't have regard for something, that means you cannot put your time and resources into it because you know that everything that is being done, it contradicts what it. Look, remember, we are supposed to hold religious figures accountable. Matter of fact, the same way you can look at the Supreme Court, when it comes to critical issues, these supposed to be the one holding the line for society. And politicians are supposed to respect them. But it's a complete opposite happening in the country right now. So what you expect?
And we have and we have some of our people serving also as a religious advisors to these presidents. How come things running, things going, poverty, corruption, all of these things happening under their watch? Are they really advising, or maybe something is happening, the presidents are not listening, or what?
Maybe I don't even want to go to the spiritual aspect. Your counsel, your how they call it, Google on the radio that came to us here. How they call it from the Internal Affairs Ministry, chiefs and elders, traditional council. You think the government people those people are supposed to be disrespected?
Working for 7 months.
Traditional, traditional. We in a traditional society, Africa and more. Yeah. And they claim to be the chiefs and elder, and people don't even respect. I mean, that regard is not there anymore. People don't have regard for them anymore. And you're talking about spiritual leaders. Okay, yes, they're supposed to carry almost the same weight because I will keep saying, even though they're part of government, but they stay from civil society. That's why we got elders, right? They're supposed to be the one that come with the logic, with the wisdom. They are the traditional chiefs and elder. But my brother, people will take you for who you are. The way you sell yourself, that's how the street is going to buy you. If you carry no weight, if you cannot stay on issue, if you don't know where to draw the line, if you cannot keep the people in public office in check, then why would they give you? Why are they going to call you any respect? So the same thing is going to happen in the religious circle. People are not respected of our religious leader. It's just a bad thing for the society either way, because at the end of the day, when you don't have people that you can look up to, maybe when you were growing up, you look up to the elders in the community, your older brother, your uncle, your auntie, for some kind of a guardian. They were not the one responsible for you, but it was a moral obligation for them to keep you on track. That's why they are there for, right? In the same way with the government. So the business community, the religious leader, the traditional chiefs and elders, that's their role. But in the case of our country, no. Everything is going for good. Nobody to look up to. So the people that are in government, they can just do anything that they so chooses to.
And that's the fun monk, because let's go back to the video that you tagged me in. Quickly before we go to the land to interact with our people, let's go to the video where you are going to tag me in, where we saw Mo Ali and the other government officials swimming in the pool, right? And you and that video sparked up with a lot of mixed reactions. Monk, I don't know what to take, but even the LWSC managing director also posted, and the comments, almost 90+ comments, was against him. I read most of the comments, and that was not so too good for him. But what's your take, Monk, when it comes to that? Because that was also said by them once upon a time, during the time of former President William Otieno, where they were criticizing everything that was done in the civil government. But today, we are witnessing or seeing the same trend that, for example, Monk is going to be working on Sktv show. How can you go watch football game? Tomorrow, Monk is no more on Sktv. You come now too, you are also abandoning Sktv, and you're going to go watch football game. So, Monk, what's your take?
Maybe I don't pay attention to this in those things of politics. That's why I keep telling people, when you understand politics, you know, when you're much younger, it's easier for people to fool you. When you reach a certain age, when you have lived certain number of years on this planet, you learn from observation, you learn from experiment. Somebody cannot just come and fool you, right? You think I'm going to criticize the life of Mo Ali and the Patrick Hunter that on video trying to live the rich life or trying to show up? No, that's politics. They won't. They were only criticizing because they were on the other side. They were not the one in power. So it's common. You know, let me tell you something. I don't like to talk about politics here because some people can get in a feed. You know, I can remember when people were talking, you know, there was a candidate in America they called Bernie Sanders. He was talking about how student loan and credit card debt, they are almost the same. I think 1.7 trillion. And Brenington came up with a comprehensive plan to pay student loan debt. But the one thing I knew as a Papa, he just doing the food on young college students because I know in this country there will be no way that the federal government going to pay student loan. Everything will be nothing but scam. So when President Biden came, he said he was going to pay student loan debt. So I said, look, in this country, when you go to college, it's a choice. The government will give a business or line of credit. Student loan, once you sign up for it, no matter what, you will pay back at the end of the day. Because the one thing is, when the government pay student loan for one group, the people that pay out of pocket will have to be reimbursed. Now, from a common sense perspective, do you think the federal government want to pay people who set up saving for their children, saying their children were born, that work extra hour to go and pay out of pocket, that the government will want to pay them back? So I knew it was a scam. So one of my homeboys who always talking about, I said, oh my man, President Biden 4 years about to end, and I haven't received letter. I said, ask any of your relative or your friend that you know, have they received any letter about student loan payment? These things are just politics and lies. So you don't have to be bamboozled, you don't have to be fooled. It's just common sense. When you understand the nature of the game, nobody's going to fool you, because my brother, if your student loan bill comes tomorrow, it will be the same old goddamn thing. Nothing will change.
So,
the whole thing
so are you saying that our people, they have been used, they have been fools? Is that what you are saying? That maybe the politicians always brainwashing them, or maybe sometimes fool them with some of these saying that, oh, the government is corrupt, the government is there, the minister is stealing, this one is happening?
Maybe 12 years became president at a private jet, right? People in Georgia government were all flashing your traveling places, taking pictures, social media, right? And that's common. They were the one in power, right?
And now we're having a criticized.
Yeah. And people were taking pictures. I think Eugene Nangwe eating one big lobster, and people like Eugene Fagon was complaining. You want me to buy into that? I know that when the other group take over, they're going to do exactly the same thing. That's just the nature of the sport, because they are not there. So I know, and that's something that is incumbent upon each and everybody. When you see politicians making certain promises, you know that it's a lie. I don't have to see it coming to reality. I just know plain out that you are lying. That's why I keep saying, the older you get, the more you monitor things, you know that people are lying, and you know that they are saying the truth.
A comment here to you, the party is saying that you want a politician criticize Akaras Moses Kwe in his pool, and for swimming in his pool. You can still recall?
I never criticize that. There were people that were people, I can remember that post. I never criticized Akaras, but there were people who were saying he was showing lavish lifestyle. I was asked, what do you expect? He living his best life. So why you want to criticize? I mean, you take a man, I'm not one, that's life. Life is not about where we are coming from or it's about where we are going. Akara's grave was not he never came from a affluent background. I will say that. He's not a rich guy. So if he become a lawmaker and he make anywhere between $10,000 to $12,000 a month in a country where people are making anywhere between, and living on less than $2 a day, what do you think he's gonna do? He gotta show off. It's part of life. I like it, but at the end of the day, I know that's what's going to happen, my brother. When you make decent amount of money, at a certain point that you want to show off to it, just part of life. So nobody come to brainwash me to be like, oh, because I support another presidential candidate, you want to criticize, you want to do that. I know that is exactly what is going to happen. Even though you might not like it, it's inappropriate, but at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. So I don't know the call, insurmountable vein, whether you say I'm lying. I know I can remember that post when I carried through a lie in people. So whether you believe it, you don't believe it, I know that any other politician that will come to power, they will do exactly the same thing. The people that work in government, that's just why it is. Whether you criticize, you don't criticize, nothing is going to change that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so indeed, Mark, my take on the entire thing is look, let's be frank, all of this here, we were here. One thing I like, that was some of us will come here when we were giving.
I didn't go to school in America. I don't know people that work in public sector. Yeah, I don't want to go there, but let's continue the show.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I was one of these days too. You got to come over. You see me? Yeah, you got to come.
Yeah, come on. We're talking about $1.7 trillion in debt. Few people that went to for-profit college that went and lobby. Talking about people doing. How many people that went to school here? They can't even get letter or penny.
You want to come on the student loan business or what? Maybe next time. Some of you got to come on at least on the kind of day-to-day and be part of the show. But again, my take is that these people, they're always using the ignorance of the people.
All that student loan for giving a bet. Either one of you to send me a letter that say your student loan will pay. I will pledge $1,000 to any charity of your choice. Either one of you, anyone. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody said the person said they send me the link. And when they go to
we don't need link. We need or screenshot or something that a loan was forgiving.
Yeah. So Liberians was used on some of the petty things. No more, you're right. The Bible says, enjoy the fruit of your labor. Who will work hard and did not go out there to go enjoy the fruit of their labor. But because we see everything in politics, and Monk is right. Because we see everything in politics and we allow people to control us, to tell, oh, yesterday Monk cooked up forgive rice. Monk was hungry yesterday. No. If you want to vote for Monk on different things. If you want to go against Monk on different things. But not because Monk maybe enjoying a little life, so you have issues. And today, most of you today that were used yesterday, criticizing, insulting, saying all sorts of things yesterday, today the same thing appear. Now what are you going to do?
I know, right?
Yeah, Monk. Seriously, the same thing appear.
The will always lie. And people, that's why I keep telling people, when you look, Melbourne, you can learn things in school, you can learn things great, you can learn things, you could be an apprentice and learn things. But the one best teacher in life is experience. As you get older, right? The more you stand, that's why you see in this country, right? Certain people that they older, that why they can give you the demographic or the breakdown. When people are younger, they can make impulsive decisions. People can go and brainwash them and fool them. But as you get older, you know what works, you know what doesn't work. So when election time coming, the moment a politician open your mouth to lie, you know he's lying. Nobody got to tell you that. What I'm just saying here. When you know this thing, you can see it happening. You want me to believe that, let's just assume that Otkomis or Tewan Grongo to become president in Liberia 6 years or 12 years from now. You want to tell me that the same thing Akaras Green and Mo Alina are doing, that people in your administration won't do that? Is that what you want me to believe? Like, who do I look at to you? Some fool? Come on, man. Let's be real, man.
That's the point. Some of you today, someone you say some we see some of them, their comments and so forth, you're not going to be laughing because you sit there and you allow one other person to use you today to get what they want to get. Now you are commenting. By the way, Mark, any other thing before go to the line?
Man, take a lot of years from our people, man. I don't want to go too much with it.
Yeah, don't mind. 077-285-961. That's the number for you to call on this Sunday edition of the SKTV show here on Truth FM 96.1. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead, your name and from where you join us.
Yeah, good evening to President. I'm calling for the VSS team.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to give more in flower why he's alive. That is the best ally. We don't take that enough for anybody. It's neutral enough a gift for the analyze the best way. So I gave you that title. It's the best ally on SKTV. But what I want to say about the preaching of our former president and even our senator, those two churches, they are not church. They are political creators that all our politicians go there to make payment, to even conspire and say all kinds of anything that they want to say. They are not church.
How do you know that it's not church? It's church.
It's not church,
my man. It's church. Don't tell people that it's not. So let's call a good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. But most of the riches or what you may call the diamond, the iron ore, all of these things situated in some of your communities and in your county and in your district, but you do nothing about it.
action, you know, the government officials are always trying to be a lawyer, and then they have been several places, they have been massive people to ask no letter. Precisely about the action, the government officials are trying to be their own to be lawyer, in their own citizen. So it's like happening.
And no medicine, and no medicine in most of the clinics and other hospitals. Anyway, that's it. We get resources. Liberia is rich. Don't mind, Liberia is rich. So let's call her. Good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, you see, yesterday when Eugene and we lost her, there was an issue. And people said people are hungry, no food to eat, we're eating that kind of food. Today, when we are swim in the pool and eat a very lobster, the chicken, people are not hungry. Yeah, Mom, you said something. That's true. This is politics. When you are not there, you criticize other people. But the sheer hypocrisy of our people, they need to stop. They got to stop. People should understand that Liberia, it is not for one person. Liberia for all of us. When you have the opportunity to live your life, live it. Don't have problem with other people who live in their life because you squander yours 12 years. You make money. You may not expensive travel. You fly here on business class. You go to places. Nobody have problem.
All right.
Yesterday when you saw that, you have problem with it. Today, that's a different ballgame.
All right.
Just to lay on this. Just to lay on this. Liberia is at a crossroad. So when the president talk about people trying to circumvent the law, hey brother, we have did something wrong yesterday. It does not mean that Joseph Boakai should come and do the same because he said he came on a mantra of rescue. A rescuer cannot be killing the country and circumventing every law that we have on the boat and only because somebody want to elude the white president. We have then it is wrong.
All right. Thank you so much. That is wrong. Two wrongs cannot make a right. Keep a cost coming 077-285-961. Liberians, let's talk. What's going on this Sunday evening from the end? So let's call a good evening. Wonderful. Go ahead, my brother. So, mm. 10 months. 10 months time. Oh, Soko stay in Star? I thought Soko gone. All right, thank you. So let's call up. Good evening. Hello? 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 Well, just one. Hello, good evening. I'm okay, my brother. Thank God for life. Go ahead.
Politics should be static and it should be genuine in expressions that will determine once when he or she is occupying an opposition or if they be predated. Now, we believe that the attitude exhibited by some government officials during the previous year of government, there was something that was unfair, but we expected those who led the country for a broken 12 years to understand that what they did, what will be practiced by my government officials. However, doing this too, it is proving that they are present today. It is something that is adopted. It is something that is unwelcome. I believe that what they're doing is wrong. So it is something that is being preached today in the church. It is something that should be welcome. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mom. I'm Emmanuel Bow. I call from Antigua Village. I think the police.
Hello? Oh, okay. This one. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbors. Good evening to Liberians.
Yes, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
My name is Joseph B. Nima and I call from Mount to be precise, at the Anthony Wellen Avenue. Okay, thank you to you more. I say thank you for analyzing all your points. My attention has been drawn to 3 points that you raised over there today. The first point, I want to tell Musa Ababede, thank you for raising that letter. Well, I think the people who are in the world that you know, like first one going in the world that are legislative politics, you know, they're open to the system, you know, politics already play. I want you to know that for the people who already told the people way back in the impression room, he told the Supreme Court to stay away from the legislative politics, and I want to go stay away right now.
Ooh.
Number 2, yeah, Furaki Kofa, the former speaker, he told them to stay away during cabinet elections. So
yeah, we on the record for that.
How the press is far away, and why you working on now? So the people stay away now in the case. Yeah. Then the second point, yeah, former President George Manuel Weah, when he never knew the rule of law, when Cabinet General was impeached, Cabinet General won the case at the Equa Court. Equa, why is it respect to be? Equa said they will reinstate the mayor all the things of also tomorrow they respect Equa. Where are they?
So hello.
Yes,
So the same man with the rescue team that indeed at least when the paper come into power, he's going to get all of his benefit, but it's going 10 months. What happened?
who's the same man with the puppet now? The former speaker?
We talking about? Yes, hello, we talking about? Are you not talking about Kabina Jana?
Yeah, Cabinet General.
But Kabina Jana to myself talking about. How can it go 10 months to up to now you haven't given anything?
No, listen, Cabinet General doesn't want to work.
Okay, sorry. Now working man talking about men benefit reinstating or reinstating the American. Hello, to this caller, good evening. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm James Wright
Mm-hmm.
from LDS community.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, so the caller will talk about the impeachment of Honorable
Kabina Jana should have been reinstated ever since. Even the rescue team came to power. But you're not giving them anything. All of you the same. Why you want to criticize another person? Go ahead. Yeah. Hello? The rescue government can actually, in fact, you go to reinstate the man to give him at least maybe making association. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, when people come to the discourse, they should be very, very, truthful to their word. And I love the question you asked, the brother. What happened since Kabila Janet campaign for Joseph Wakai and Joseph Wakai won the election? Why you came over here? The Supreme Court, the Equa Court ruling.
Simple.
The government is controlling this. Job here did not do it. So Joseph Wakai now that you have to be the power. Joseph Wakai should be the one to look at a political honor Kabila Janet and help me. But for somebody to come here and try to say, oh yeah.
We are voted out. All of these things we are voted out.
But you know, Speaker Kofa was never deputy speaker or cabinet general were impeached. Speaker Kofa was just an ordinary lawmaker. They were Prince Cameron who was serving as deputy speaker. All right. So if people don't know the history, they should stop lying. Because these lies have made the country.
No, he never said he was a speaker. He said he made a statement saying that the Supreme Court should stay away. Correct that caller.
All right, go ahead. Hello, to this caller, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you'll be sure for the VN system for the second time.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question. So it was the prerogative of the past government, CDC government, the purpose for development and whatsoever. So they could do the runoff that it was part of the government, the rescue team. After they
What do you call blunder now? Hello. Hello, my young man. Yeah, we are not forcing here. And when you come here, please be careful with your choice of words. What do you call blunder? Okay, good. So what do you call blunder?
Was it an agreement that when Cabinet General was running the campaign for rescue team, the benefit that he's supposed to get through the CDC that rescue teams will pay our agreement?
Okay, so that more answer that one there. I'll take more. They may asking you question. Because I don't question me, I know. Let me ask
What
you.
he's saying, why was this question? I didn't really get that part, the last part of
The
the
main
question.
question is whether it is agreement between former Associate Justice Kabila Janet that even when Joseph Boga become president, that he's going to be reinstated, or maybe they're going to give him all of his benefit. So that's the
Oh,
question.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can address that, but I don't know. I mean, he was removed before Baga came to power, even though he was leaning towards Unity Party. But that's up to the president whether he was about to be reinstated. I don't know about the reinstatement. The one thing that I know, the ECOWAS code came up with a funding, and they talked about some financial settlement, about reinstatement, and the government that removed it refused to follow the ECOWAS mandate. That's why I keep saying this is not political. Matter of fact, what happened to Justice Janet was even worse than what happened to the speaker,
So
because
we have new government
in
now,
the
Monk. That's the thing now. Let us not go back and let's move forward. Now we have new government now, right, Monk? And government is continuity, right?
okay.
So
But if I,
I think
after the rescue mission, I don't know which kind of agreement it's signed. I don't know the law when it comes to the reinstatement.
should we now hold them responsible now for not doing the right thing, Monk?
Who said that they will be held responsible because he was removed before the new government came to power? So when it comes to reinstatement, I don't know how the law worked because it's up to the Joseph Boga administration. How can because Cabinet Janet's seat was filled. Somebody replace him. So I don't know the legality when it comes to refilling a seat because of a mandate coming from the ECOWAS code. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not going to elaborate on that because, like I said, the only thing that I know of, Cabinet Janet was removed illegally. But I was seeing people who claim to be lawmakers that calling for the rule of law. He was removed, and he went and sought redress from the ECOWAS code, and the ECOWAS code came up with a finding and recommendation that the our government refused to even follow. So the whole argument was predicated on the message coming from the president. I don't know about Joseph Boga reinstating
there were two things, Monk, so there were two things in the entire ECOWAS or they say, okay, if you can reinstate the man, then give him all of his benefits. So since government is continuity, I agree. Monk, whether would be government, whether it was Manasseh government or John Brown government, is not the question. Now government is continuity. Give the man his benefits. Then let the man come back now to the public and say, okay, the former government refused to give all of my benefits. Today, I was able to get my benefit from this current administration. Then we know now that yes, indeed, this government, it is indeed maybe ready for the rule of law. But Monk, for the past 10 months,
government is continuity, but they also got procedure. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know about any arrangement between the current rescue government
I'm not
and
talking about
reinstating.
you. I'm not talking about you knowing. It's not about you knowing, but it's about government doing the right thing. That's the point. By the way, I want you to also take calls from that end. So job.
No, I mean I'm not. I mean, sorry, folks. I got one call that I had to reject because I'm not in my regular setting for today. The same phone I'm using, so I can't take call. I'm not positioned to take calls from the US. So some of you guys can call Melbourne via WhatsApp or Messenger from the US.
That is beneath you will see some things scrolling down there under the SKTV stuff, and you see my WhatsApp number. That's my WhatsApp number. That number with a 0 +231-770-203125. That's my WhatsApp number. Just call me, and I'm going to put you through. Only for international caller. And those of you who also back home.
Sorry, guys, stop calling me. I can't take call today. I can take calls from my end. Sorry, please.
So let me go to the line and take this call. So let's call. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my name is Nathan Fonse. I call from Benstown Community, Lower Magibi County.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm very much impressed with the show. But I wanted to make the correction. Speaker Kofa was, with the head of judiciary during the impeachment of Cabinet Janet. He was in the house, but he was not deputy speaker, but he was the head on judiciary when Cabinet Janet was impeached.
All right, thank you so much. That's the fact. So let's call. Good evening.
Yeah, Migo, how you doing?
I'm okay, thank God.
Yeah, this is Brown Tattoo from Johnson.
Thank you, Uncle, for joining us. Go ahead.
Yes. I think on the Cabinet General removal, the guy just made a correction, but I listened to Senator Donald Dillon, who said that even if you go to the Journal of the House of Representatives at that time, he said, Cooper advised at that time, you were chairman on judiciary, the House, that they were taking wrong procedure on removing cabinet dinner. Number one. The second thing is that he did not vote for the removal of cabinet dinner. Who said it? Not Dillon, except that I was not listening to him well. But let me go to the point. I agree with more. You see, politics is authoritative allocation of wealth and power. Who get what, when and how. So, who will come to you? We the voter in Liberia, let me say this. We are just fake. Very fake, but we the voter, we are fake. We are politicians, not fake, because politicians will always continue to recite their fake deed to all and will buy it. So you buy, the people continue to fool, really. But then you the mean fool. So if somebody come and I'll listen to information minister, somebody asking question, why these things are happening when you spoke against it yesterday? He said, do it propaganda. We want to come to power. So will you propaganda? So if we continue to buy in propaganda day in and day out with the kind of population we have, then of course when we fall prey, we must blame ourselves. Whether somebody swimming pool today or tomorrow, later on, when they give you power tomorrow, you not enjoy yourself.
I will enjoy good.
You not fly from here and there because you know maybe that the last time in your life you will get that power. So then you enjoy yourself. So when people come to you, they will really check the man background. And before I drive the line, we're talking about why political will never resign yet. The president said we shouldn't do business as usual. So to do business as usual, it having to every slow. Few group of people get together, they raise political issue, you resign. They having to tell us. They having to Senator Gilambo. At that time you were protest. So because over say I will promote the government of pronouncement, not business as usual. Let's go to the law until maybe Supreme Court will call the case. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I think our international people, they really want to call today. Indeed, it is indeed interesting. So that's the WhatsApp number there. Those of you are 07 +231 770 203125. That's the WhatsApp number. Or if you want to call direct, just call straight so that we can put you through for our international followers on the SKTV show this evening. Indeed, it is indeed interesting, and we're not getting something. Information bring out information. So according to my uncle, Councillor Fernando Kofa never voted for the removal. According to him, though, he says in fact he quoted saying that was dinner. So who knows? And we're going to be here maybe.
That's how we keep telling. That's how we keep telling about the excuses when it comes to politics in like brother. They are so interested in taking side and stating the fact. When you are the head of the House Judiciary Committee.
You come on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm James, right? I was on the line, but the network put me out. So I was saying that the issue of impeachment is not a judicial issue. It's purely political. They say the House of Representatives should prepare a bill of impeachment and the Senate should vote. Is there any point in the matter there? So why would the honors to and they prepare that bill and the Senate vote? That is political. So if somebody says it's not a judicial issue, it doesn't mean that if you are violating the law of the land. It's the law of our country that prescribes the proceeding of what? Impeachment.
All right, thank you so much. Let me go to our international line and bring more call because our people are also calling to this call. Good evening.
Yeah, Bebo, how are you, sir?
I'm okay, my brother. Thank God for life. Your name and from where did you join us?
Yeah, I'm right. I'm calling from India.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Today, one of the job call, one of the men that usually people, a lot of all come on the social on the Sktv to listen to have been following for approximately like 2 to 3 years now. I've been following the Sktv. I used to be a killer caller when doing the elections. Now, Omon is saying something that is really confusing us because he was one of the person that actually pushing this fairness when it comes to like we got to move forward, we got to change the way we do things. And now Omon is saying that he, because this thing was done to Cabinet Journal, so it is the right thing that should be done. Probably that is how I think he's perceiving it to a lot of many of us. I mean, lot of us are living for the law. We are not told where it needs a fanatic over. We ain't got time for fanatic over. Nobody care about fanatic over. We are here protecting the law. The monk has been biased in a particular issue since the one. I don't know for what reason, but it's now that we are clear that we know exactly that because of Kabila Janet, this is the reason why monk is taking the side of the majority bloc, or taking the side of whosoever that he wants to take, you know. And this is truly hypocritical, to be honest.
All right.
Monk need to stay factual and stay objective.
All right, thank you so much, my brother, for being part. Among you will respond later on. Let them more calls. So the WhatsApp number is there, +231-077. Sorry, you know we use it. +231-770-203125. That's the number for you to call. If no international call, then let me come back home and take more call. So this caller, good evening. Yeah, go ahead, my dear. Your name and from where you join us. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't want to speak on the issue of the house. I don't know what I was talking about.
Yes, we just have all the topics on yes, listen, go ahead.
Okay, I'm wondering how it would end in the Supreme Court. I've said this because from experience, you know, when it's common, essentially just like I'm not going to be removed. And the chief justice, the former chief justice, decided what I came for the Senate. And the comment was that the issue was political. To the extent where Kabila Ghana was removed based on a judicial opinion that he gave. All of the senators who voted to remove him, one kind of the removal was a roof on tax. Everybody roof on tax, roof on tax, roof on tax. And that was the case that he decided to refer to the purpose of the Supreme Court. But that was the point when they removed the Akara Greater family, Tamil Fala, sponsor the bill from the lower house that passed all the way to the Senate to remove him.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chief. That moved to the international line. Now we have Sadiwi Jabo, my brother. Good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon from my end, Melbourne, and also good afternoon to Mom. I don't know why I don't want phone is my point direct, so great right now.
Yeah, more it's on a situation.
Let me say something. When Monk on this show is Monk opinion. You guys are getting personal. Any Monk say the law in Liberia and the law will take a course. If Monk say anything that is personal opinion.
And that's the thing. I don't know why people get an issue.
Don't be worried Monk for your personal opinion. We are in Western world. You know what I mean? Monk opinion is Monk opinion. President, we have opinion that's his opinion. When the law will take a course. And let me strike this. When Grub Musu Scarborough pulled in place in prison, we saw former president that time, Mr. Parker, went to visit prison. When he was sent to as a president of the bureau, Grub Musu was pulled out. So I believe that if Corona Janet, he was sure about Corona Janet case too, you are free sitting here in 1 minute. But this is Liberia. Anytime we say one change in Liberia is reversed.
We allow politics to maybe politics to be maybe all of the day.
I'm telling you, CDC, United Party, he's doing it in the past. Why you talking now? Why you not talking now? So okay, let's forget about all the issues. Why you can't listen to Jackie Koluba now? Because it can be for change. Why you can't listen to Jackie Koluba? Because all the things you told Jackie Koluba that it will happen, it's not happening. Why are you talking for? The budget for 2024, what is the development for the citizen now? We're going the whole year, nothing to show.
All right, thank you.
Why are you talking now? So I need to hold on now.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. I know I feel some of you the way you think about Liberia getting better every time the politics, you know, and that there where Monk speaking, but some of you not getting it straight. The politics here is more than any other thing. So let's call up quickly, then go to more maybe to give some reactions before you forget. Hello, Charles Cooper.
Yeah.
Go ahead, my brother.
You see, maybe at time I'm taking it back. When people say, or when people always say, removal is political. Maybe the guardians of politics is the rule of law. every political aspect is guided by rules and regulations. That's what makes politics to be what it is. If there's no rule of law, there's no politics made born. Because if nobody should tell me that politics is hostility.
So, Charles Kubola, for example, you are a police officer. You are there to enforce law, right? Then maybe Kula in a vehicle, maybe violate the traffic, and the only thing that maybe will do is to take phone and call one of the maybe talk government official, and the government official will only talk to you, and you only say yes sir, yes sir, that's all, and maybe pass. So is that also the rule of law?
What I'm saying is because we Liberians see politics, we think that politics is hostile. Being hostile doesn't mean that you are a political person. No. It's not in Liberia, but every aspect of politics is guided by rule of law. They are politicians themselves. Even our election from step 1 to step last is guided by rules and regulations. Because when there's no rule of law, maybe nature is hostile. Everybody will just do bad things. But because the rule of law is there to check man's behavior, that's what made politics beautiful. So imagine if all of us in our district number 4, you think we say about what Magotomo doing that place? No. But you think we take the street.
But you're not only, hello, Charles, but you're not only accountable. There's no community meeting. Hello. All right, no problem. Thank you. Let me go to the international line and interact with our people from outside. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, Melbourne. How are you? This is Ben.
Thank you for joining us.
I have quick questions for you guys.
Okay.
Do you guys believe that the removal of Cabinet General was done rightly, or it was done wrongly? That's one question. Do you also believe that the removal of
Fanatic Kofa?
Yeah, no.
Musu Scout?
Former Chief Justice out of jail. Do we also believe that it was wrong? And do we also believe that the process of removing Fanatic Kofa is also wrong? If any of these things are right, we continue doing what was wrong before? That's the question I want any Liberian to answer for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mark. I don't know what you want to respond to some of the maybe questions or some of these statements before we continue with the line.
You know, our people, they believe in group things. So when you exercise something they call the independence of thought, it become a problem. We were just making a comparison between the statement coming from the former president versus what happening. But unfortunately, they will try to drag this issue and make it to seem like, for them, they are settled already on picking a side. So no matter how we explain this thing, they will always find a way to tweak it. They will create their own narrative. All I was saying was, somebody say, oh, Fanatic Kofa was not speaker. Nobody said Fanatic Kofa was speaker. Fanatic Kofa was the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. The speaker is the supervisor for his colleague. But that will have committee in the house. When you are the committee here, it means that particular department, you are the one responsible. In the Senate Judiciary Committee is a standing committee whose oversight responsibility is to administer justice. So when it comes to the removal of Cabinet General, even Fanatic Kofa carry more leverage as opposed to even the speaker because he's the head of that committee. Why you think we keep requesting for chairmanability on this show when our guy got missing from the central prison? Because chairmanability is the one who chaired the committee on Homeland Security. That's just why it is. I was saying George Weah cannot be the one criticizing the removal of the speaker when in fact the worst happened on him. And the analogy we gave you was very simple.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, go ahead. So let's go. Good evening.
This is Steve Free calling you from Fayetteville.
All right, go ahead.
There's no way around it. You cannot use wrong to justify wrong. And that's simply because I was wrong yesterday. Doesn't mean I can't tell you you're wrong today. We all can come together and tell you are wrong yesterday. You can still tell me I'm wrong today, but that doesn't mean you're right. So monks should stop going in and running around in cycles. Monks should stop being hypocritical. Fanatic Kofa, as the head of the House Judiciary Committee, recruits himself. I want to you know that Fanati recruits himself. Fanati recruits himself from that particular trial.
Yes,
So
according to information recused. Yeah.
How the man recruits himself on that trial, and you still hold him responsible for what happened? The man said this is a house that I found myself in. We are 73 years. You guys have started something. I don't want to be a part of it. And he recruits himself. Why you think cabinet today is telling about Fonati? You think if Fonati are going to fuck how you call it?
Cabinet German Act. Yeah.
What do you think Ellis Tyler? What do you think Ellis Tyler and other against Fonati today? Because they feel that Fonati were part of a system or team, the ambushment that fought them during that summer money good.
All right, thank you so much. Then actually, if our international people, you just trip in. So today's call. Melbourne. Okay, go ahead. You like? Wonderful.
I think. Let me just agree with Mom. I don't agree with certain part of he did it. That he was the head of the judiciary. If I would think he was one of the most educated, or he's one of the most educated in law. He went to what I would call an Ivy League school in America, law school in America. He was the head of the judiciary, but he drove that. But when we all, Mom, myself, you, and everybody look at him yesterday, we say he did all of these things. So we're not talking about him. We're talking about how we move like the way forward. We're saying, let's do what is right. Let's follow the process, the due process. So when somebody else start with doing what we're saying, let's stop now. I particularly don't care about this man, okay? It's not about him. We're talking about studying the face. That when you Melbourne as an individual, as a regular like you, when you go to court, somebody says no come for any crime. We want you to be a part of due process. Not one of the big people. We're talking about starting from here.
Yes.
Another thing with the student loan, Mom, I have ended member whose student loan was forgiven. I even have a letter that you have to pay back in certain amount of a month for you to qualify. You can't just jump up. And maybe because I'm an educator, most of the people I know whose student loan up to the $180,000 were forgiven. They're educated or public study. So it was maybe your friends did not qualify or they're not paying enough, or a certain amount of criteria they have not met that. So, son, I don't want $10,000 for you, but we can talk offline and we can talk to Baby about that. But we are saying, let's take Liberia from here, let's support Liberia.
So let the right thing be done, right? I said you are saying let the right thing be done. I said you are saying let the right thing be done.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. We cannot continue to do wrong things because the people did us wrong yesterday. We want to start from here and build a nation that everyone gets justice or gets equitable or whatever. And the law is the law. The politics does not support the Constitution. The Constitution is absolute. Everything you do should be in pursuing to the Constitution. That's the way it works.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope one of these days too you'll be able to come on the show, man. Thanks to you. Mark. Yeah, is that easy about Mark? I think the previous caller or somebody asked, I don't know whether we can answer that person, but they said whether cabinet general removal, whether it was legal or not, and former Justice Moses Card also been released also from the prison, whether it was right, whether that was the right thing, and also COFA situation. So the person asked us as to whether these things are all right. If we say yes, why? If no, then we'll move forward. So what's the take on that?
You know, when people are listening, right, when you talk, they got two group of people. They got people that are listening with intent, and they got people who just listening for just with the purpose of responding. When we play the George Weah video, we were just making an analysis as to moral equivalency, that he criticized the Constitution when in fact he was his move was also egregious, right? That was the argument. But their interpretation is just because we said George Weah was on the wrong side, so it means I am taking side on the fanatical for how they interpret it to be. I am just saying the premise I lay here on that matter was very simple. I said Cabinet General went to the ECOWAS court, he went for redress, and they came up with a recommendation. The man who criticizing that we are attacking the Constitution, his problem was even worse than what we are seeing with Fanatic Kofa. They gave recommendation for compensation, some benefit, whether it was about reinstatement. He never responded to that. So how can you say because I said Georgia was wrong on that statement, then all of a sudden I'm picking a side between Fanatic Kofa and the majority black? Was that the argument? Or was just giving an analysis between the two situations? A matter of fact, I never told you that, Fanatic Kofa, somebody said, okay, yeah, he was working cabinet. And I am saying at the time, he was the head of the Senate, the Judiciary Committee. Matter of fact, whether he recused himself, but at least we should have heard from the head to be like, which side he stood up on. Was he in favor of Cabinet Janet, or was he against the illegal removal of Cabinet Janet? We never heard that. I'm just saying. So whether he recused himself or not, it's almost like Chairman Belete, the head on Homeland Security, and something happened. And Chairman Belete said, okay, even if we want to agree that Chairman Belete recused himself, can we say Chairman Belete cannot make an opinion or even give a statement on the matter to see whether it was right that he was removed from prison illegally? Is that what you're trying to say? That because he recused himself? Or recusing yourself only mean that you don't want to be in a part of the process when it comes to an investigation. But it does not mean that you cannot weigh your opinion on major issue happening in the country. People can recuse themselves and still take a side and be on point on issues. So the whole idea that George Weah can criticize about the Constitution being attacked, he himself is not respecting the Constitution because he exhibited it. That's all we're saying here. But like I said, this whole thing for y'all, it's all about taking side. Once I cannot take a side on this issue, I know how you guys can respond to a national issue in Liberia. Anyway, I said it yesterday. It's the same way you guys vote. You don't look at the pressing issue. You're looking at the fact that, Mom, you want me to either be on the side of Fanatic Kofa or on the side of Thomas Fala, and I will not take position on either side because I keep saying it from day one. Either the Supreme Court or the Liberian Court will be the final group to make the decision, and they are bad apples on both sides. I will never take a side. I might have an opinion, and you can interpret my opinion any way you choose to. But I am telling you, I'm not picking a side because I don't have any regard for both sides because I know they are only fighting for leverage. That's what I said from the beginning. So if I make a Georgia analogy and you think that from the analogy that I make, I'm leaning over or for Fanatic Kofa, then you get it wrong. So it's your own interpretation.
People are also seeing maybe some of your statement as maybe because you always rely on the political aspect. I want you to also clear that because when you talk about political aspect, every time it's politics. So should we say that maybe politics, or maybe the way we do politics, or maybe the politicians, they are above the law, or they can do anything that they want to do and walk away free? Is that what we are saying? Or yeah,
everywhere in the world, the Constitution was written by flawed men, mortal being. Constitution always got loopholes. Anytime someone make a law, there are 1,000 ways to get around that law. That's why politics. I'm not saying that you should play politics with everything. I am just saying, politics is very complicated. Even in the great United States, did I give an example when I told you about an indictment that was filed against the president, that the Supreme Court of the United States went and ruled in favor of the president. But the prosecutor from the State Department went and filed a superseding indictment, even after the Supreme Court ruled. That's politics. I am just telling you, at the end of the day, the very same Constitution that gave the Supreme Court rules and regulations, that Constitution gave the very same mandate that there is a limit to the Supreme Court. So the whole idea, everybody want to play the law, but why about the law? The very same Constitution that said there is something called separation of power, and that the judiciary shouldn't interfere with the administrative activity of the lawmakers. Isn't that the Constitution also? Oh, you didn't read that part of the Constitution, right? You don't know there is a limit to the law and that people can get around the law? Maybe in America, just recently, the president is given the constitutional right to make appointment when it comes to a cabinet member. It is up to the Senate to confirm. But do you know that at a certain point in time, the Senate can play politics and refuse to give the pass to confirm the president. Yeah, even though it's constitutional. Let me give you a loophole. In America, the great country, the great US, when it comes to that, do you know what the president can do to get around it for political purposes? He will drag his nomination or his nominee. When the Senate go for recess, he go behind them and appoint his cabinet member. So the whole thing about the law is the law. I'm not saying the law is not the law. I'm not saying you should disrespect the law. I am just saying there are a lot of loopholes that people can exploit when it comes to the law. And the very same constitution that told you that you can look up to the Supreme Court, the very same law told you that there is a limit to the Supreme Court. That's all I'm saying.
So quickly before we go, Monk, this maybe last question from my end to you about Kabina Janet and that of, because even Kabina Janet is also serving as one of the lawyer for J. Fonanti Kofa. That's it. Nobody, most of the callers that we listen to, I don't hear anybody talking about supporting Fonanti Kofa, but most of them talking about the rule of law and so forth. But again, let's move on with this. Monk, with the benefits aspect, I still want you to look into that, because mind you, former president we have heavily criticized, and even it have been mentioned on this platform on several occasions. So do we, or can we say that it's a lackadaisical or maybe attitude also on the part of the government for not giving the benefit of Kabina Janet?
Maybe. Why I told you from that particular Kabina Janet case, I said the ECOWAS code came up with recommendations, right? And someone said even Kabina Janet was with the rescue mission, and the rescue mission is now in power. And your argument was that our government is continuity. I am saying when it comes to his benefit or what the Wagga government is supposed to do, I don't know. The only thing that I know, Kabina Janet was removed illegally, and his seat was filled. It's now vacant. So the recommendation from the ECOWAS code, the previous government refused to act upon that. So whether he's in bed with Unity Party or they got something working behind the scene, I have no idea about that. The one thing that I know that I keep saying, his removal was illegal. His seat was filled by the previous government. He went to seek redress from the ECOWAS code. The ECOWAS code came with recommendations and findings that the previous government never followed up on. So whether Kabina Janet got money from Joseph Boaga behind the scene, or whether he's a rescue member, I am just saying I don't know about that. I'm just talking about the legal aspect of what transpired between Kabina Janet, the previous government, and the ECOWAS code recommendation. That's why I said maybe it's something we can dig into, but I don't know when it comes to continuity. So I don't know the rules.
So tell us something follow up. So what's your take on the release of the former Chief Justice, Moses Scott?
Man, the Moses Scott situation, I don't know. I don't know about that when it comes to her. I mean, when her being released, people are of the opinion that she was released illegally, that they were political influence. Yeah, I want to believe that. I mean, based on the story we got and some of the things, I mean, I'm not a law expert, but I just know that certain things stings to the high heaven, and the whole release of this glorious. We see that now when they got their brother from Guinea. About the accusation, there are international laws, there are international protocols that govern people that are seeking asylum, and somehow he got released and from the central prison that people are pointing fingers to the police director and other people in government. Look, politics will always play, whether you like it or not. There will be laws on the book, but those laws on the book come with a bunch of loopholes that people will always exploit for political expediency. That's why I keep telling you, the laws were never written by angels. That's why you see countries in the world, they go to constitutional reform because certain laws on the book, they are antiquated. They does not conform to present day reality. So every time people keep testing the law, they keep making amendments to the law, they keep improving it because they know that there are flaws in the law. The law says you can remove someone for causes. But how do you define causes? Causes open-ended. I can say the speaker, he went and he got conflict of interest. That's a cause. I can say the speaker was doing business with other investors in the country and he shouldn't be. That's a cause. You are not specific on cause. It's open-ended. And whenever you have things that are open-ended, people will play politics and they will exploit loopholes in the system. That's just what I said.
Wonderful. So Mark, we gotta go home. Yes, 1 minute that close and go home now. We are already on our time, so we gotta go. And let me say thank you for everything. Yeah, so let's go. In closing, 1 minute.
Well, in closing, I stick to my position. I'm not going to change here. I look at the facts. I put my little pieces together. It's my own opinion. We on Sktv. So sometimes when you come here in your feeling and because you believe that you're taking a side, so every time someone comes up with an opinion, you want to link that opinion to a side. That's up to you. That's how you want to interpret it. That politics is 5D chess. Einstein says it's even complicated in physics. That's what I know. So you can take your side. You believe that someone is breaking the law. I am just saying, looking at the political nature of this particular saga and looking at the constitutional part, there are loopholes that politicians will always try to exploit. And because of the parties involved in this particular fight, they have done it before. The history is there, and they are the same player. That's why Yaga Koluba made a statement. Yaga Koluba made a profound statement. Yaga Koluba said, I knew Fanati. That's why when they were voting for him, I choose not to vote for him. I know his record, I know his history. So the thing that you saw for voting for him, I want to see it before going against him. So I'm telling you, both sides are bad for Liberia. They don't mean anything good for that country. They are not in your interest. So if you like, you can preach the Constitution all you want. You can quote all the provision, Article 30, Article 49, Article 2. It's up to you. I am just saying, when it comes to politics, people will exploit and they will take advantage. And in the case of this Speaker saga, both apples are bad on either side. So I'm not picking anyone. Anything the Supreme Court says, that's it. I'm not the one paid to interpret laws in Liberia. That's the Supreme Court's opinion. So
wonderful.
You can
Thank you so much. Yeah, Mark, thank you so much. So quickly in passing, let me just say this to all of our people, our leaders, lawmakers, and so forth, that indeed the people are the one that you're supposed to be focusing on, because among even the same constitution, Article 1 is the first part of the constitution that you should be looking at, even if you want to do anything, that the people matter. Everything you do, the constitution gives power to the people. So for me, Monk, what I'm saying is that with all of these, it's politics. No, Monk, nothing in this life, the happiness of the people in the same constitution, the livelihood of the people, if nothing happy, the people are going to come out and demand what they want. So no, I don't know, rule of law, or how they may call it, they are proceeding or whatsoever thing that they may call it, Monk, is not above the people. So they should respect the people, and they should be able to pay attention to the people, Monk, because if the people come out tomorrow, Monk, there'll be no politics. There'll be no politics. There'll be free. The citizen. Because Monk, you cannot
interest in their own well-being, so when they come out tomorrow to do what?
You cannot push the people up to the wall, and they may not penetrate the wall. They got to bounce back. And because all of these things we're talking today, the people they're doing their one, who send you in our house? It is the same people. By what? By the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, that people should go out there and vote. So when the people vote for you, when they send you there for you to go and represent them, Monk, you don't have to play some politics that will even bring the country down. For me, that's not even politics.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
No,
that's normal. They will do it everywhere. They can do it everywhere. Let me give you one more example again before you close the show. In this country, federal laws, it exceeds state laws. The Constitution gave the President of America, he's the chief, the commander-in-chief. He's the one responsible to protect this country from domestic and external threat, including border and immigration. Yet, even though the federal government gave the president that latitude, that leverage, according to the Constitution, the state got certain mayor that will challenge the President of America and say, in my city, you're not carrying on deportation. Even though the federal law and the Constitution giving that authority. That's why I keep telling you, you can quote your law all you want. Once there are loopholes to exploit, people will use it for political purposes. And what happening between the speaker and the majority black is pure politics. They want to steal, they want to create leverage. So it's not about the Constitution. They both have no regard for the Constitution. That's what I'm telling you. Because the same people,
because they had no respect for the people that even voted them. Because, Monk, if you have respect for your people, let me be frank. All I think is saying, Monk, these are things that sometimes on the radio can be, make your community or your district to be strong. Have control over who you send to represent you. But you can be sending people laying down to our LJ.
Yeah.
Somebody that you voted for.
Yeah.
That you campaign for. They put him to our LJ. They put him representing you. And you said that you think all is well. You think everything is okay.
No, they really operate that way, like we keep saying on the show, because for them, they must first take a side before they can investigate. That's their problem. We said it on the show. The Liberian people will be the one to decide the matter because we already tell you what's going to happen. We are saying You, the people, all your congressional district, you guys supposed to be the one putting pressure on the lawmaker. But you are not interested in that. You want to know who is right. You want to know who quoting article what. Because for you, you must first take a side before you investigate. Rather than seeking your own
no
welfare.
control over the people, Monk, the people have no control over these people. Let me be frank, Monk. All of the lawmakers, some of them, in fact, when they go to the district, they don't even go there anymore. It is their business. The only thing, the people go there, time for elections, they go there and campaign to these people and blindfold them, brainwash them, lie to them. Then, Monk, it's just quite frustrating. I can really feel sorry for our people. Let me be frank. So I know from where you talk. I know from which part that you are speaking of. And you're right. It's politics because all our people want to hear is all about politics. Who come on the radio, who say all the BB things, who say this, who say that. While your life is moving backward.
Yeah.
Nothing happening to you.
And yeah, the funny part, maybe, they're very rule of law, they Supreme Court that everybody looking forward to. Do you know sometimes politics can influence that decision? You don't know president can play behind the scene. You are dealing with human being. Anything that human being does is flawed. There are flaws into it. There are loopholes. Whether it's the constitution, whether they are federal law, whether it's the president, whether it's the Supreme Court. The people who you got the Supreme Court, they are all human beings too. They're waiting on that one national budget to get paid. Matter of fact, your Chief Justice was on the record for saying, since you guys can be stealing between the executive and the first branch of government, we too will want our share. So what make you think that they are perfect? What make you think they cannot pick a side? What make you think that they're going to interpret the law the way how you want it? That's why I keep telling you, if you cannot take responsibility or charge for your own life, that's why the God will keep using you all the time, because they know you are not interested in your own progress. You are interested in picking a side. And they will keep playing politics every single day.
And more, what you hear from these people is, sometimes more I can walk cry for our people. Why will you be waiting? You give somebody power, the power in you. You turn the power over and say, go and represent me. And this person not even paying attention to you anymore. They don't even want to even pick up your call. What you supposed to do? Some of this person say, no, we are the one that gave you the authority. Black everywhere. So they can even enter even in our own district. But again, Monk, these are things. Sometimes, no, Monk, it's frustrating. Let me be frank. The lawmakers, they have no respect for the people that voted them. The commissioners, they talk, look, Monk.
No, you said it in reverse. Say the people that voted for lawmakers, they don't have respect for themselves first. That's the reason the lawmakers don't have regard for them. That's why I told you, if this situation were to happen in any other country, they will find a solution within 3 days, and the people themselves will take charge. In our country, they want to take side and then look for a savior to come and build it out. That's the difference. Maybe let's call it quick for today. I think we'll cover ground. I think we are 18 minutes into the time.
Good night. Good night. Yeah, more good night. So, folks, we got to go. Thanks to all of you. Indeed, it is quite frustrating. Let me be frank. Every time we talk, every time we come here, look, Liberia is talking backward day by day. Some of you will say there, where's the system? No system. No system here. Nothing here that you can even boast of. Nothing here. And look, the president, they made this thing to look like everybody should worship them. Now, hey, look. Let me tell somebody today. Now, hey, look. As long as you are not part of them, you can't get anything. Even if it's rightfully yours, somebody will they will find means for somebody to stop not coming to you and get you out. Say, oh, okay, that place can be right. So the community lost balance. That's the kind of system we have there. The community don't. Can you imagine? You have representative who you can't even control. That you have no control over. You do anything that you want to do. He do anything at any time. He come to you when there is election time because of what you like. Anyway, see you, my people. So we are saying this. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia has been violated on so many occasions. So many occasions. People say about it is a joke. The same Constitution that gave people power. For example, quickly before I go, Truth FM, headed by CEO Liability, say, Mabel, we want you to be on the Sktv show and this and that, or in fact, we want to even bring you into the system. They gave my employment letter and everything, go for tests and so on, maybe go for interview and so forth, right? And I'm done. They gave my employment letter, so everything. They finally gave my TOR. Now, I will, and I like the country, It's so interesting. I was looking for a job back to back because most of you politicians, how you can be, how you behave. You will be going to lead people back to back looking for a job. Now, liability and feeling bringing me into the system. I tend to fuck out. I don't want to hear anybody anymore. I don't want to listen anymore. I don't. So, do you think what's going to happen next? The management said, no. This is not how we work here. We have system here. If you can go by our system, either you resigned or we dismiss you. But yeah, in Liberia, it's bad. No more respect for any kind of organization anymore. All of you, the civil society group, organization, to religious people, this and that, do all traditional people crying for 7 months salary. Good night. See all of you on tomorrow by the grace of God. Thanks to Sekou Kane, Steve Bullet, even though they were to be here, but unfortunately they didn't turn up. But again, thanks to Liability and O'Neill Summer Roberts. They had a radio programs. Good night from our end here on the Sktv show. And I'm Johnson Mayborn.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and part of the club. Foreign people who willing to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The project is giving us the end of the rest of them. So welcome my life with African.
I live
Master.
Play Paris, I can't Sktv-Lib. C'est ma chérie, tina ke ase ma jamu. Enji sano muni, emu aye yo. Enji lofa mui, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena napagiyarina ya tumale, Sktv, ena napagiyarina, tosi wakama ya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and part of the club. Foreign people who willing to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.